Hello everyone, this is Jackie. Today we are watching an invincible science fiction movie, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Arthur was an ordinary person who didn't have anything go well. The place where he lived was listed as a key demolition project. A straight highway was going to be built here, and Arthur's house happened to be on the planned route. The government negotiated with him for a year, but Arthur didn't agree. So the demolition team prepared to demolish this nailed-down household. This time, his good friend Ford came with beer. After distributing the beer to the workers, he took Arthur away. Ford told Arthur that he was actually an alien. He saw the headlines of StarCraft in the morning. To develop the fringe area of the Milky Way, a multi-dimensional highway needed to be built, and the Earth happened to be an obstacle to implement the project. So the demolition team of the galaxy would destroy the Earth today. Ford first arrived on Earth many years ago and was saved by Arthur. In return for his life-saving grace, Ford intended to save Arthur before the Earth was destroyed. 10 minutes later, the demolition team called the Vogan arrived. Ford used his special ability to smuggle Arthur onto the spacecraft. Afterward, the demolition tools of the Vogan spread all over the Earth. The Earth was wiped out in a flash of ashes. Arthur and Ford were transported to the spaceship toilet. Ford said that the Vogan was dead-brained creatures who couldn't think. They could only execute the order, even if the nuclear bomb exploded immediately. Without triplicate orders, they would never move a finger. But they hate other species to take their own spacecraft. The top priority now was to flee here to find another spaceship to ride. But before Ford sent a signal, the two of them were discovered and thrown into outer space by the Vogan. Fortunately, the passing Zaphod saved them. Zaphod was the president of the Milky Way. He had two heads with a weird personality, and his brain circuit was different from normal creatures. Zaphod declared at the launch ceremony of the newly developed spacecraft that he had kidnapped himself and then drove away like a robber. Trillian was the sister of Zaphod who came from the Earth. The two piloted the spacecraft and had been looking for deep thought made by the rat star to solve the mystery of the universe. Zaphod was very curious about this. He invited Ford and Arthur, who had nowhere to go, to join the adventure. At the same time, the brainless Vogan police team found the stolen spacecraft. After getting approval from the headquarters, the police set out to rescue the president, who had kidnapped himself. Zaphod and others escaped from the hunt and were going to find the galaxy thief Hama to obtain the coordinates of deep thought. Hamar was willing to provide coordinates for Zaphod, but he asked Zaphod to find him the point-of-view gun. It was said that this gun was located at the location of deep thought. Zaphod agreed to his request, but Hama wanted to keep his other head as a hostage. In this way, Zaphod successfully got the coordinates. When the group was about to go to the destination, the Vogan team came up. To get out of the predicament, Trillian pretended to kidnap Zaphod and prepared to rush out of the encirclement. Once the Vogan didn't think anything, they ignored the president and took Trillian as a kidnapper. The other three fled back to the spacecraft to prepare to dive into the Vogan's places to rescue Trillian. They came to the Vogan's prison. They used Zaphod's presidential status to join the team. Trillian learned from the interrogator that the demolition of the Earth was actually signed by Zaphod, and now she would be executed for kidnapping the president. Here Arthur once again used the identity of the president to request the release of Trillian. But the Vogan only followed the procedure. Even if the president spoke in person, he must fill in the form as required. Finally, they handed over the document just before Trillian was executed. The judge immediately released Trillian after seeing the authorization letter. After being released from prison, Trillian blamed Zaphod for signing the order to destroy the Earth. Zaphod claimed that he was at the top of the universe and some people worshipped him and asked for an autograph. Maybe he didn't pay attention to the memo name. After a while, they found the destination based on the coordinates. Zaphod hit the portal. Trillian and Ford went in happily. Arthur was afraid and didn't dare to follow. When he finally screwed up the courage to rush in, the portal was closed. Arthur did not keep up with the team, and the robot fell outside. At this time a mysterious man Slarty Bartfarst came over. He claimed to be a scientist of the Milky Way and came here because he was commissioned by the Rat Star to take Arthur home. Arthur dubiously followed Slarty Bartfarst into the portal. Slarty Bartfarst introduced with Arthur that he was a scientist who made planets. The planets in the galaxy were created by him. After speaking, he took Arthur to see their factory. A majestic scene appeared in front of Arthur. All this subverted Arthur's cognition, and tears were streaming down his face. At this time, he was also convinced that Slarty Bartfarst would help him to go home. Here, Zaphod and others found deep thought. He asked if the computer had calculated the mystery of the universe, but the computer said it had been broken down. So another computer was built to handle it. Unfortunately, that computer was the Earth that was dismantled by the Vogan. Zaphod could not find the answer, but he found the point of view gun as agreed. The point of view gun, also called the position switching gun, created by the supercomputer Deep Thought. It allowed men to look at problems from their standpoint. On the other side, Arthur was taken to the location of Earth 2 by Slarty Bartfarst. Earth 2 was Earth's backup planet. The Earth project had always been run by the rat star. Rats had evolved into higher intelligence creatures. They wanted to know the ultimate mystery of the universe. So they took the Earth as an experimental object for research. Humans were just a piece of code in the program. Arthur was taken to his residence on the Earth. Slarty Bartfarst told him that this place was about to be completed. It could return to normal life soon. Arthur was surprised to see his own house. He opened the door. But he found that Zaphod and others were sitting in his house eating and drinking. The two little mice on the table were the rulers of the Earth. The purpose of the mouse asking Slarty Bartfarst to bring Arthur here was to take out his brain cells and completed the final calculation of the program. He added a steel buff to Arthur. 3 more people fainted because of eating the food of mice. In desperation, Arthur's adrenaline burst and broke free and smashed 2 small rats into a pie. Then Slarty Bartfarst began to restore data on the Earth. Suddenly, everything on Earth recovered. Humans also returned to the state before the destruction. Arthur and others wanted to continue to explore the mystery of the universe. They piloted the spaceship to start the adventure again. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is based on the novel of the same name. The original work has long become a world-renowned classic. The film's reviews have been mixed. Personally, if you don't consider the philosophical speculation, the humorous plot and wild imagination are still worth seeing. Okay, this is the end of this issue. Friends who like it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you next time.